Hey guys, welcome back to S.H.Figuarts. If you're brand new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Today we're going to take a look at S.H.Figuarts Piccolo from Dragon Ball Daima. Again, I personally didn't watch Dragon Ball Daima, so I don't have any connections to this particular look of Piccolo, but I'm very curious about the new technology they're using, the cloth goods and everything. So yeah, here's the left of the box, here's the right of the box, and here's the back of the box. And I think as soon as I see a better Piccolo, I'll probably sell this guy. Anyways, let's bust this thing open and see what we got. And here's the figure still in there, and the packaging looking really good. You do get a bang for your buck for this guy. He has so many accessories, and yeah, let's check it out. Alright, and here we have the figure itself, and my first impression on this figure is really good. I like it better than the Vegeta and Goku, to be honest, even though those were pretty good already. But specifically, I really like the way they improved the technology. First of all, we have like a cut over here, so it gives you more articulation compared to, say, like Beast Gohan and the Kid Gohan from Cell Saga. And we also have like a really interesting where you can like make his neck longer with the joint. So when he puts on the cape, it doesn't look too weird. So yeah, this is really cool. Now, hopefully we get like new Piccolo in the future that does the same thing. But yeah, this is really nice. And then yeah, it just feels really good. I like it. And then like the crotch piece is also on a softer material. The figure just feels really nice to handle. And I think we can jump straight into the articulation. And for the articulation, let's quickly go over here from the neck down. He can look up about this much, look down about this much. You can move his head all around, and like I mentioned earlier, we have this really nice gimmick. And then for the shoulder, it's like on a really good butterfly joint, and then it's kind of like the Revoltech design where the ball joint goes down like that. Gives you a lot of range, raises the arm up about this much. Of course, bicep swivel, can curl, can only curl about this much. That's a little bit limiting. I wonder why they did this. But yeah, that's a little bit limiting. And for the ball joint on the hand, this is pretty standard. And for the ab crunch, let me try to move this around so I can show you guys the better articulation. Wait. So for the ab crunch, you can bend forward all the way. Yeah, so you can see like this thing just kind of like falls apart. So it gives you a little bit more range for the ab crunch. It's not as good as I imagined though. I thought like giving those cut is gonna like really help, but I guess it's somewhat still kind of help. I'll show you guys more during the action posing, but yeah, I guess this feels a little bit better compared to the Beast Gohan, but not as much as I thought it would. But anyways, there's a ball joint here, and you can kick up about this high. And this part, the crotch piece is really soft, so this feels really nice. And then you can bend about this much. You have thigh swivels, of course, and then this bends about this much. Side to side pivot and toe hinge. I believe that's it for the articulation. Overall, it just feels really good, and like for a retail price toy, this is really cool. Yeah, let's check out the accessories. And for the accessories, we can start with the default face, and I think they did a really good job here. I really like the way they captured the look for Piccolo here. I like it better than the Dragon Ball Z S.H.Figuarts we got. Very cool. And next up, we get a teeth greeting angry face, which is pretty classic, and it looks amazing. It looks really clean, and yeah, I love it. Unfortunately, you will not be able to swap with the previous Piccolo. It's a completely different peg, as you can see. And then we have a yelling face, and all these three faces are really good so far. And next up, we have like a smirking face with Piccolo's signature head wrap, and I think this look is crazy good. Way better compared to the previous version. You can just see, like, yeah, we've came a long way. Even though this one was already good at the time. I think we need a 2.0 version of this guy. I really like the Dragon Ball Z Piccolo. But yeah, this Piccolo looks pretty close to the Dragon Ball Z Piccolo, to be honest. And then we get a shouting face with a head wrap, and I think this one's okay. And the last one we got is a shocking face. And I think all the faces he came with is pretty good. And we have 6 of them, including the headgear look. So yeah, this is pretty cool. And you do get a bang for your buck. Really nice. And for the interchangeable hands, first off we get a pair of just display open hands, and these are pretty nice. And then we get a pair of open palms. And then we get a pair of karate chop or like ki blasting hands. And then we get a pair of special beam cannon. And lastly, of course, we have his signature cape, and this whole thing is really nice. The top part is on a softer material, and this is really soft. Probably as soft as I have experienced from this kind of design. It's even softer than the Super Saiyan Gohan one. And then, of course, this is all wired around. You have wire all the way through here. So yeah, this is beautiful. And of course, we have the cross arm because, you know, Piccolo cross arm. And yeah, let's check out some action posing. Oh yeah, before we get into the action posing, I want to quickly mention it. Whoever thought of the neck joint gimmick, it's a genius. Because this cape, like with a soft material and a cloth goods, it kind of just like floats around, so you have to like kind of arrange it. But even if you try to arrange it, because it doesn't have like the weight and stuff, so it just kind of floats around. So with the neck joint, it really makes this thing feel a lot better. I would imagine like without a neck joint, he will probably look like this the whole time, and it's probably kind of hard to adjust for you to get like a better look. But because of the neck joint, the whole thing just like feels really good. And yeah, let's check out the action posing. And for the size comparison, let us start with some Dragon Ball Daima figures from the same series, and I think they look amazing together. But unfortunately, since I'm not that big of a fan for Daima, or I didn't watch it at all, I will not be collecting more. And it seems like they're doing a lot of Daima figures, which is really surprising to me. But yeah, none of them really interest me, and I think this is the end for me, unfortunately. And next up, we have some other Dragon Ball S.H.Figuarts, and I still really like the Dragon Ball Z Piccolo, but hopefully we get like a 2.0 version of this guy. This was really cool when it first came out. The head sculpt could definitely use some improvement though. But I really do like the body, and yeah, I think the articulation on this one is actually better than this, despite all the new articulation. But I think the biggest issue with this particular is the bicep. Like it just doesn't go all the way. It's only 90 degree. That is really bad for like a Piccolo figure. I'm not sure why they cheap out on that one. And next up, we have some of my random recent favorite figures. And then we have my favorite, the Naruto S.H.Figuarts. And lastly, we have some One Piece and Mayfex, and let's jump straight into the final thoughts. Alright, so for the final thoughts, I think the figure is pretty decent, and if you are a big fan of Dragon Ball Daima, you should definitely go for it. The articulation is really nice, minus the bicep curl, but yeah, the cloth goods is good, and the figure just feels really good to pose with, and you do have newer design of the Piccolo head, which I think it looks really good. Arguably better than the Dragon Ball Z version, which came out a while ago. But yeah, like, I don't know, unless you really want the cloth goods and everything, I think this Piccolo actually suffices. I don't think I will keep this one for a long time because I'm just not a fan of Dragon Ball Daima. And hopefully they can release like a newer version of Piccolo, which I do see them doing though. I do see them doing like a 2.0 version of this when they finally get back to Dragon Ball Z. Maybe they'll release like a battle version versus Android 17, right? But anyways, let me know in the comments on what you think. They have been very quiet in terms of like Dragon Ball Z. Going really hard on Dragon Ball Daima, which, anyways, maybe they sign a contract or something. They're obligated to do so. And this is Eric. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.